Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Wednesday afternoon, May 3rd. We are looking at Window Trader's market profile of the ES and SPY. So pretty intense last 2 hours of the trading day. Again, I'm a little surprised. We got our quarter basis point hike, which was expected. I think this market or these, not so much these algos, the retail traders, they expect him to come out as dovish. There's no way he's going to do that. He's not going to paint himself into that corner and be dovish and then realize he has to raise rates next month or in the meeting after that, and he paints himself into a corner. He's always going to leave himself open for more rate hikes. The fact that he says it's going to be a mild recession leads me to believe it's going to be more than that, because they do nothing but lie, just like when there was no inflation. The fact that he says, they're looking for 2% inflation to come back and or to maybe lower rates at some point next year, or certainly not this year. There's no way they're lowering rates this year, I would think. So they just talk out of both sides of their mouth. I wouldn't believe a thing they said. So I think the market, after getting the 25 basis points, but not getting a firm answer to the fact that this is it for a while, set them off to the downside. Now, again, I said this in the video the other day. Friday's close is going to be important to me because it's going to be after the non-farm payroll. I know Apple's tomorrow night, but again, that's one stock as big as it is. But if we pull back in the next 2 days and close lower, it could be very interesting that we tested a balance high on a monthly and failed. Now, I am treating today as an inside day in SPY, NES. We barely took out yesterday's low. 2 ticks in ES, I think 5 cents in SPY. Let's go to the other ones first, then we'll go over everything. NQ took out yesterday's high by 3 ticks and then took out yesterday's low and closed below it. So they have an outside day down. They end 11 wide with overlap and a higher value, and they end with an outside day down. Righty defended the opening until maybe the last tick of the day. I'm not even sure if they got the low. I can't really tell them in bigger increments here. But they end only 8 wide. So all Righty has is the day's high and low from today. So if you open up inside that, man, there should be some massive chop for Righty. For us, we end up with overlap and a higher value. It looks unchanged, but if I put it in small increments, it's overlap and a higher, yet we go out with a price probe to the downside, a price spike, and a trend day down after taking back yesterday's trend day. You want to talk about mechanical markets? When this thing ripped up, it missed filling the single prints by 2 ticks in J. When it ripped down, it kept ripping down, we had a poor low in K. So it's still incredibly, incredibly mechanical with these short-term traders, how they move a market. But then finally, when he was done with answering the questions in his press conference, the market took a directional move and ended trend down. Now, we lowered POC as low as it could go earlier, so we could have gone down a lot more and it still wouldn't have been lowered. Something not to ignore going forward. So we have a 9-wide POC, single print, and a price probe along with the day's high and low. And again, I will treat it as an inside day. Had a very good day, made 25 points on the day, up 80 points for the week. A period, I made 6 points on a short inside of those single prints. I said I don't think they're going to fill the first time in there, and they didn't. When we made a new low in C, I made 3 points on a long. I didn't think we would go trend. We did, but we ended up taking that one back. Of course, we ended up trend down again later in L, but I still made 3 points on a long in C. And then again in D period, I'm like, they're not really getting a push lower. I said the odds of a trend day holding prior to 2 aren't good. So I made 2 points on a long in D. Then in H, when we started going higher, I'm like, again, I'm not looking for this thing to go ripping. So I made 3 points on the short in H. I actually took 2 longs in K. 4 points I made on one, lost 3 points on the other. So I only made a point. And then in L, the first time we got against the afternoon pullback, I took a 2 lot and got 10 points out of it. 5 on each one on the push up. And then I said, that's it. I'm not doing that anymore. And I really wasn't expecting to go trend, so I didn't look for the shorts. 25 points, been a really great week so far. Very happy with that. Again, a lot of times we don't get the directional move until tomorrow after they digest. Another thing to keep in mind, even though we pushed lower, price pushed lower a lot, but volume really didn't follow as much at the day's lows. Look at where all the volume still is along with the POC. So it will be interesting tomorrow to see if this trend day holds and what we get out of it. But again, it's fantastic to treat this as an inside day. If we take it out to the upside, you go with it. Monitor it for continuation. Same to the downside. If you take it out, well, then you have the balance low to look at. So we should have some more really nice opportunities tomorrow. As far as destinations for the upside, L's low for the price probe, 408.75. Then we have single prints in SPY, 409.05 to 410.30. So that's $1.25. They're not that small again. 9 wide at 411.96 and today's high at 413.87. For the downside, we have 407.77. Then we have 406.74 daily low and a real important one, 403.78, which is last month's low. In ES, we have for the downside 05, then 97.25, and then 68.75, which again is our monthly low from last month. Upside, price probe at 15, single prints 18.25 to 30.75, 9 wide at 42.25, and today's high of 67. Now let's look at the charts in SPY really quickly. Here's the monthly first. So we're 3 days into this trading month. Last month's range, again, one of the smallest in almost 3.5 years. Do the bulls have to worry if we take out last month's low? Sure you do. We could take out both sides of this monthly high and low a couple times this month since it's so small. So it remains to be seen. But right now it's still balanced. The bigger question is, did we fail at our balance high? I don't want to say that 3 days into the month. That's why I think Friday's close could be interesting once everything's digested from today and non-farm payroll, right? And then all the big earnings are over. The Fed is done, so we'll see. Weekly. Now, weekly, I had called it up earlier this week when we took out the last 3 weeks' highs. For now, I'm still going to call it up. We'll see what comes Friday. If we end up something like this, I'd probably call it up to balance because we got sucked back into this 4-week balance. But for now, I'm going to give the bulls their due, at least for now, and call it up. If we take out last week's low, that would firmly go to balance. And the daily is in a 5-day balance. Okay? The low of it is 406.74 from the 27th. The high of it is 417.62 from May 1st. So it's, if we round it out, 407 and the high is 418. So about $11 balance. Okay? So inside day we treat it as. If we come out of it to the downside, you look to take out the balance low, then this low and test the 50. If you take out this low, boy oh boy, that's the monthly low and things could get interesting. If we take it out to the upside, we take out yesterday's low, and then you shoot for the balance high. And eventually, you should get February's high. That's been the target. Hope you had a good day trading. Rest up. Enjoy your evening. Thanks for the likes and subscribing to this channel. And we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.